Is this safe? Are you gonna break me? Can I handle this? And it's either that or I suffer. I feel good. Yeah, my legs are stupid sore, but that's because I worked them really hard after you worked on them. They feel engaged, they feel unrestricted. Yeah. So it's the essence of it. I feel sore, but I feel good.
You're trying to lift after I work on you?
Yeah, after you work on me, typically within 24 hours, I like to get in the gym and make sure that I'm contracting the muscles, utilizing the muscles in the new range of motion that you help me achieve.
Clients and people would say, to rest after you get a massage, but we've found that we do the body work and we're like, whoa, we're like right. Free, and then we go and work out and feel like you're adapting to the lifting a lot better.
People aren't even thinking about body optimization or muscle engagement or anything. Most people go in and they say, I want relaxation. So, with that intent, sure, could be good. Yeah. But this is a little bit of a different type of body work. So.
This is a different type of body work.
Yeah.
We smash! What do you feel like you need today?
Well, we did work a lot over your delts, so maybe we can jump into that and the whole shoulder girdle in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels more bulked up than usual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this wants to go right here for sure.
Yeah.
Lots of goodies in there.
Mm-hmm.
This would be kind of fun to work on you with your head down this way, because you're usually the other way, so I don't have to think about what I can and can't use now to push against.
Right. It's always good to change things up.
Yeah.
So you keep things fresh.
Right.
And I still don't feel like I've even scratched the surface of what this can do.
Yeah. Tell me more about that. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I just feel like we're going into these really deep patterns, and sometimes I'll spend an hour on one area of the body and there's just still so much I can dive into. And I said that about working on a table, but with here, it's like with this broad, really deep pressure, we're not just pinpointing little knots in the muscles, but we're adjusting the entire structure of the body and the fascia. And I feel like when I'm receiving this work, and like say you're on my forearms right now, I can feel that in my arm, I can feel that in my back, I can even feel it in my hips, and I can feel how my forearm tightness, or just the way that my forearm is acting, is affecting everything else. So there's a lot of potential for discovering what the body's capable of through this work, I feel.
So you feel like this type of work, just you can feel the larger picture.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've already done quite a few sessions of these, so we've gotten to realize that the two of us can really handle some deep pressure. With this type of work allows us to go much deeper, so more progression, more possibility.
Right. Well, I think I was inspired to start doing this work on the table because you've been optimizing your body, and I started to feel like I was reaching a slight plateau with you, where I felt like the work was kind of becoming more maintenance. So I'm like, okay, what can we do to level up this work? So that's where I started thinking, okay, let me just start using my knees and see what happens. And then I got such positive feedback from you, so I'm like, all right, we should transition to the floor and see if we can go deeper into this. So we did.
That's what you would call very good intuition. My shoulder has been twitching all week since you worked on me last time. We had a session and you really opened up my shoulder, and this area's been, it just feels like it's engaging, it's firing up, it's finally opening.
Totally.
It's been closed off for a while.
Yeah, what's amazing about this work is it really opens up the whole body. Like right now, I feel on my right side, like shivers up my spine, and I can feel it going out of the nerve roots of my spine and going to where you're at. So everything is firing right now through this work. I feel like I cried to the degree that I needed to cry. I wouldn't say I had a huge catharsis, because I didn't need one based off of what was being worked on, but I definitely released emotion that I could tell was holding me back.
Yeah, multiple. Oh man, Josh Shadle's got some layers of the onion to unpeel, and hard to say when the first one happened. Like 3-4 months maybe into us working together weekly, I had my first emotional release, and that one was quite different than, I would say, one that I had fairly recently during this work. I think I've just opened up so much. He worked on my abdominals, which it sounds like there's a lot of our emotions. Abdominal work with his foot basically standing in my abs. Yeah, I don't know. I just had to let go and surrender to let him in. And through that process of trust, I just had this massive emotional breakdown. It was amazing, honestly. It was sort of out of body experience. Like, holy crap, is this happening, and is this okay? I think I asked you that. Is this good or bad? And I think you had something interesting to say.
So many of us are in resistance to releasing because we get taught it's not okay to cry. To me, when you cry, it's a sign that you're surrendering. It's a sign that you're letting go. Crying is accessing the state where you feel a degree of sadness, this degree of empathy. Sometimes the tears can be tears of joy, I think tears in general are just a way that our body releases any overload of emotion. And it really takes a deep whole being surrendering to get that. Right now, Josh is on my deltoid, and I can feel my whole body really instinctually wants to tense up. I really want to just clench up and curl up and not let him in, because there's a degree of discomfort there. But when I allow myself to surrender, and my whole body has to surrender. I can't clench my jaw, I can't clench my toes. If I do, then I'm holding on some level. So I'm letting this work here on my deltoid be a whole body experience for me. And in that process, the deltoid is the only thing that's tensing up. Everything else in my body is relaxed. And then the deltoid can release because it realizes it's actually okay, and that my body isn't reacting to this intensity here. When the whole body realizes that, especially if there's any emotions stored in that muscle, through patterns, emotional patterns, that represent themselves physically. People meditate, and when they meditate, they get in the practice of learning to put breath first, breath over reaction, breath over rushing, and through this, it's a similar thing. I'm choosing to choose relaxation, choosing to embrace the intensity as opposed to feeling the intensity and going, oh man, that's a lot, that's too much. I'm constantly practicing through this work, just choosing to embrace the sensation, embrace the muscle, embrace the engagement, embrace the embodiment. And yeah, it takes time, it takes practice. And sometimes that feels like a release to scream like that. That's I needed to feel that sensation, to let that energy out that's been wanting to come out for a while. But to me, I consciously chose, okay, I want to scream right now, so I'm going to scream. I want to pound the floor right now, so I'm going to pound the floor, whatever that is. I'm always doing my best to just stay here and just stay still and breathe. But sometimes it's just so much that if I can keep whatever is being worked on relaxed, but, let everything else kind of let itself out, screaming, pounding, whatever that is, I'll do that. So breaths are getting deeper. And it's either that or I suffer. Feeling my hips, because I'm noticing that my hips are wanting to tighten up. So I'm choosing to wiggle them to just help the release. And even talking about it like I am right now helps as well. Just validating that I'm feeling what I'm feeling. My head is buzzing and my forearm is feeling really, really warm.
I really like these super deep, broad, long holds. You're just holding one spot and you're giving their body the opportunity to kind of figure out what to do about this massive amount of pressure that's being put on it, right? And it will figure it out, because that's what humans do. We adapt, we figure it out, and using breath or maybe wiggling or humming allows you to kind of accept the intensity and just embrace it. And that's where the magic happens. That's when the body really opens up and lets go. And sore?
No, sensitive actually. Like it feels kind of nervy.
Mm-hmm.
Left glute's twitching a ton.
Mm-hmm. Just sort of using my heel to step on his lat and tear his major area. It's one of my favorite techniques for sure. giving this body work, it's given me an opportunity to work some of the weaker parts of my body, you know, my feet, my toes, my arches, my calves, and absolutely my hips and my core, and come up with these different positions. And you realize, wow, I'm like sort of a difficult position, not, you know, in the sense of like I'm weak in this position, which is awesome because I am personally getting stronger giving this bodywork session to Sam, you know. It makes it a whole nother creative level. Just got my foot in his armpit in his subscapularis.
That's very good.
Yeah. Good one.
I felt that.
Crazy.
Oh man, more's going on under the foot.
Oh yeah.
It's a very comforting feeling when something is pressed on with a lot of pressure for a while and that limb or part of the body just starts getting really warm and
Yeah.
starts buzzing, maybe even feels numb. It's just a really comforting feeling. It's like a sign of my body just relaxing.
What would you say about a client that you're working on who isn't comfortable in a maybe a position like this, and they feel vulnerable, like the shoulder's gonna be hurt?
Well, it's a very vulnerable feeling, and I mean, even to this day, sometimes you're doing things to me, and I'm like, "Is this safe? Are you gonna break me? Can I handle this?" Sometimes I'm questioning that. So it's gonna be something that's always ongoing. I think no matter what, as you go deeper and deeper. But
what do you tell yourself, or what do you do to help make that scary situation more trustworthy?
Right. If I'm really unsure, I'm gonna first communicate it with you. But for the most part, I trust you a lot, so I'm gonna breathe into it. Maybe I, wiggle some fingers or toes. It depends on the intensity. If it's a feeling of like, say you're here and I'm afraid that you're gonna push the bone of my shoulder into the ground and it's gonna hurt and break it. That's where like maybe if you didn't have cushioning there, maybe I would want to ask for some cushioning, or maybe I can reposition my shoulder. Like maybe I'm shrugging my shoulders and that's why that's pressing to the ground, for example. Especially with new people, one, the therapist keeps an open line of communication, because many clients, many people, especially when feeling intensity, don't have the ability to speak up for themselves. Speak to the clients and really encourage them to speak up if they're not feeling like this is helpful. But also, holding that space, knowing that intensity is really going to helping them to trust you with that.
Yeah, so much better. This is the position. This is a good position if you can get in this position. Try a knee, maybe. How's that feel when I pull it down like that?
It's actually less sensational than when you're pushing
This way?
down. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Ooh, that's a spot.
That's a spot. Oh yeah. Releasing and the muscles engaging. Nice. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, good ones.
Yeah. Body knows.
The body knows. Get this guy off me. But it's a tremendous amount of pressure. I mean, it's my body weight.
It's very, very achy in there.
Yeah.
It's intense. if you were doing this to me when we first started training, I might have started screaming.
Yeah. You can see this here, trying to get rid of something like that. I need handles. We need Ashiatsu bars and things to hang from. Gotta save up for it. More views, more likes, more comments, and then I can buy it, and then Sam can buy his. So different.
Ooh, hamstrings are so insanely sore. Wow.
Go face up. Wow. How do you feel?
Nice.
What do you
I feel just a lot more put together.
How do your shoulders feel?
Open.
Yeah.
I don't feel restriction. They just feel like they're resting. Like they don't feel like they have any actions they need to do. They just feel like they exist. But the potential for action is just feels good. I feel ready to do whatever. I feel more embodied. I don't feel tired.
You feel relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah.